Hello everyone, I'm Dan Kelly and welcome to the latest edition of Chicago Fire All Access, where we go off the pitch to give you an in-depth look at the Chicago Fire Soccer Club. Today's episode begins not with the Chicago Fire first team, but with the aspiring professionals who have earned a place within the Chicago Fire Academy system. Founded on unique player development strategies, the Chicago Fire Academy is designed to instill promising youth talent with the skills, vision, and character needed to fulfill their professional dreams. Let's take a look.
From the overview standpoint, our mission statement, first off, is to move guys through to the first team. So that is very strict, and it really guides everything we do. So we're totally committed to that. That makes us a little different from most missions of youth clubs that are, various different things, whether it's moving kids through to college, whether it's balancing the bottom line. But for us, it's very specific, and it's dedicated to moving guys through to the first team. When we first started out, we were getting players at 16 and 18. Those were the two age groups that we focused on, and that's really a little bit late from the developmental standpoint. So our first mission was really to change the mentality of a player coming from the youth club to a professional development system in preparation for the pros. So we worked on the mentality of the player to get them used to the grind and the demands of what the professional game is. So in some sense, we had to break those players down and quickly try to rebuild them. The professional development academies have evolved in the sense that we've gone much younger. We focused much more on the process rather than the objective of winning games, because it's such a long-term process that they go through. I think those are primarily the ways that have changed. Obviously, with the MLS academies, the resources that ownership across the country are pouring into player development are much, much different than what a youth club did years ago, and really where we were 7-8 years ago.
I started playing for the academy when I was 13 years old. I played for the Fire Juniors before that, which then turned into the Fire Academy. Training here is the highest level possible around in the whole Chicago area. Obviously with Larry around, he's always pushing us to train harder every day, and he's always pushed us to play faster. And
there's a philosophy both on and off the field as it relates to our style of play. So what we're looking to do on the field, we're very detailed in how we play, and every player that comes into the system knows that, whether it relates to the essence of the game, passing, receiving, moving, whether it relates to how we defend. Every player is really accustomed to that, and over the course of time really grows into that. As far as what we do off the field, I mean, we are a Midwestern club, so we adhere to Midwestern values, and we try to bring those through in the way we play on and off the field. We grind, we're blue collar, we try to be humble, and we really want to win in the end as a byproduct of what we do on the field every day in training.
For the past 4 or 5 years, we've been training here at least 4 times a week, plus games on the weekend, so it honestly leaves us not with much time other than to go home, do homework, take a shower, and go to sleep. It's about an hour drive, maybe less. So it really takes up the whole day. After school, you just get a little time to rest and straight to practice right away.
Coach Larry's definitely strengthened my mental part of the game. When I get hit, I'll come up right away. I won't stay down. And definitely being more confident in front of a bigger crowd, when in our quarterfinal game against Houston. There was 1,000 people there, so I was definitely confident.
There's players coming in from all over the Midwest just to play with us, to train with us, train here every day, and they know it's going to be different, and it's a better environment than any team in the Midwest, I believe.
Well, just like anywhere else in the world, the goals of these kids and the dreams is to become professional player and to play for their hometown team, and that's what we're here for, and that's what we want to do. We want to create and develop players that in the future will be playing for the Chicago Fire.
Whenever I look at someone coming into staff or being added to an organization, you look at the person first, right? And they have to really they have to exemplify the values of the club. And if the values of our club are hard work and honesty and being blue collar, well, those two guys, I know from the training field, every single day when they showed up, they came to work. It's the same thing we try to do in the academy. Every single day when the guys come, the players come, they show up to work. So I think it was a really easy integration for us.
The privilege and the responsibility of representing this club is now on you.
And then as a bonus, you know, they were both players, and I think it was a no-brainer in the end to have them both involved.
As the year went on, I noticed something about the team that I hadn't really seen in prior teams, which had supposedly a lot more talent. They worked so much harder, and over the winter season, they worked hard every single day in training. And I mean, it's a long winter season, but either way, they put in the effort.
Pre-game, Coach Larry gave us the game, so we made our game plan.
We never work on set pieces. We never look at the opponent during the regular season. It's all about us and how we play. But then when we get to the playoffs, it's about winning. So the process was pretty simple. I'd put together a 10-page dossier on the opponent. I'd do some film clipping of the opponent. So we'd share the information. The players would take that information. They'd come up with their own game plan. They'd come back and present to the coaching staff. If we felt they were on the right path, we'd go along with it. If we felt they were a little off somewhere, we'd ask some questions, try to bring them back. And when we couldn't bring them back, it was okay as well. And we just asked them, if it doesn't work, what are you going to do to fix it on the field? If they had answers, it was there.
Chicago Fire reaching the championship match in their 7th consecutive playoff appearance. Talk about developing world-class players and moving them up through the academy system. 10 players moved up from the U15-16s to this 17-18 side for the Chicago Fire. We played short to try and open up this RSL defense. It's a good ball in, and it is. Slides by everybody. It's the opening goal for the Chicago Fire. Still going Gutmann, one-on-one against Barraza, and he slots it in. The Chicago Fire have a 2-0 lead right on the stroke of halftime. That's a good ball in, deflection, and own goal. 2-goal lead restored for the Chicago Fire. And it's Gutmann causing all the trouble once again. And that will do it. The Chicago Fire are your U.S. Development Academy U17-18 national champions.
It was a good experience, and it felt good to win the games, obviously. To be able to take the charge of the team like that, and the coach have us take charge of the team like that, it's honestly an honor that he gave us that responsibility.
I think during that whole run, we were the underdogs, nobody counting us to win, and we really showed that character, and always kept fighting, coming from behind. It was their own, and guys stepped up as leaders. So I think you always want to see that, and you know, realize the character that you had put into the players.
We have a number of players in the pipeline that will be MLS professionals. There's no question about that. When they get there, everybody's a little bit different, whether they're going to come right out at 17 or 18, whether they're going to go to college first and come into the first team. Each pathway is a little bit different. It's a process for sure. I think there's an awful lot of players in the pipeline from our academy that you're going to see on the first team field over the next few years. And of course, that pathway is continually changing, so we'll see where it goes.